Alright guys, BLM here, back with more. Um, there we go. Back with more, Quiet Man. It's late at night. Listening to the RGB, and yeah, we're continuing on. So, this was interesting, because, so this is when I last recorded. I was about to go to work. I thought I was going to miss, Big Brother Triple Eviction, I would have to watch it later. Turns out, I got out of work early today. Luckily, let me out at 7:30. So I was able to get home right on time for Big Brother, watched it, even wrote my review for the week. I didn't write my review for Triple Eviction yet, which, mind you, was a very big letdown. But, yeah, I'm gonna wait on writing that for a bit too. I'm gonna wait until next week, I think, because I want to see how things settle within the game first before writing the Triple Eviction write-up. But yeah,
I'm confirming it now.
That was cool. Again, I was so disappointed that I was gonna miss it this entire week, and then I just I ended up literally right when I went in, they were like, "Hey, can you go home early?" I was like, "Sure."
A man who was here with me on the Double Eviction when I had some rants, and maybe we'll have some throwbacks tonight. Here is...
Yeah, what a disappointing Triple Eviction.
Enzo is a loser, Rob. No intestinal fortitude to win this game. So full of it. He's so full of hot air. What a poser. What a poser. What a loser. Alright. We're so excited that she...
Yeah, it would have been so much better if they voted out Nicole, Tyler gets next HOH, takes out Danny, then we would be playing a game. I think this would be really fun at that point, where it would be Tyler, Christmas, David versus, really, they're... Well, actually, no. Yeah, I mean, it would have been so great. Then it would have been them against Cody and Enzo, right? At that point? It would have to be. And then Memphis is kind of in the middle. But nope, we got pretty much the worst possible outcome. Yeah, disappointing. We'll see how the game plays out. Again, this could rebound if Christmas wins HOH. If Christmas wins HOH, then there's potential for a lot of fun this week. But more than likely it won't happen. If Christmas wins, though, this is gonna be a fun week. I mean, who's she gonna go after? I mean, she would have to put up Enzo and... No, she would have to go Nicole, Cody, right? Yeah, she would have to do Nicole, Cody. If one woman's veto, hopefully they don't convince her to backdoor Tyler. But, yeah.
Or do you feel like that we fast-forwarded through a lot of the boring stuff?
I honestly very much feel that way. I think if this was a double, that we missed out. Because look, I think we skipped through the Memphis HOH. If there was a double eviction, we would have skipped through that anyway, and we would have been fine.
And don't worry, Memphis will win the HOH tonight.
But the Tyler HOH, following being stabbed in the back, essentially, by Enzo, by not having Enzo not follow through, by having Cody and Enzo very clearly choose Nicole to stay after saying that they weren't going to do that. Enzo all season long has been talking about how Nicole needs to go. If Tyler has more time to sit on that information, who knows what happens, and that's just the start of it. We saw Danny and how she reacted to being evicted, and how betrayed she felt about Cody, and...
Fuck this game, though. The Quiet Man.
I was like, Danny, throw Cody under the bus. The setup is there. You need to throw him under the bus. And if she had more time, I really feel like we could have been in for a relatively interesting week.
Kirsten, let me get your opinion on just the overall state of the Triple Eviction.
So, it happened. That was on our TV tonight.
Where's the line?
But yeah, I mean, the plan for the Quiet Man, though, is still the same. We're going to finish this tonight. Then I'll probably spend the rest of the night reconfiguring my hard drive, try to figure out what I can fit on there, what I want on there, deleting a whole bunch of stuff that I know now that I don't want on there. Tomorrow morning, I thought I was going to be free. It turns out I'm probably going to be busy for a couple hours, but by probably noon, I should be free. So I'll probably end up recording like an hour or two of Catherine tomorrow morning, but we'll see.
Of course you hope for the best, something, but you have to prepare for the worst.
Yeah, prepare for the worst.
That was the most amazing movie I think I've ever seen in 2020, because it encapsulates 2020 just in a nutshell, exactly what we got.
Yeah, at this point I have to say, this is one of the worst seasons of Big Brother. It's like, I was still holding out hope, because I did think this endgame had a lot of potential, but at this point right now, like, after this triple eviction, I think it's good to say that this was a bad season. This is just a terrible season.
You said it in the opening. I was, for a second there, I was like, oh my
Wait, what? What just happened there?
Franzel is going home. And this
Oh my god, so close.
I can't believe it. Christmas voted against her. Well, once I saw Christmas voted against her, then I thought the cards were there for Nicole Francis to go home, and I really thought that this was only set up where she could go home, maybe against Cody if someone put like Nicole and Cody on the block. But my God, to have Francis out the first part of the triple would have been so.
Oh, it would have been so great.
I never want to hear big moves from Enzo ever again. Shut up, Enzo. Shut up, Enzo. No one cares. We don't believe you anymore. It's like Lucy with the football. We just, like, I've had the ball pulled out from under me too many times to buy any of this bullshit.
Oh yeah, I did also today got confirmation that, yeah, my last month ended up being my best month ever, revenue-wise, for my other channel. Mind you, CPM ended up not being as high as I was expecting, but I still did it. Like, it still did go up slightly, but CPM for the Big Brother video, though, wasn't that high. It was like, I mean, it's still high. 7.7. I think CPM in general is really high right now. I really don't know why. I don't know if it's specifically the me, or if it's just YouTube in general being on a bit of a rebound right now after COVID. Like, really hit it bad in like May, and fuck, I'm fucking up here.
Yeah, Mr. Big Moves, Mr. Oh God, I'm ready to backdoor anybody, yo. No, you're not. No, you're not.
Yeah, zero chance he wanted to win that veto. We know that he was going for the 10K, and that's why he was mad at David.
I feel like Enzo is
Oh, what?
literally just all hype for the TV show. I mean, this is the big show that we're all waiting for, but I also think that Enzo just, at this point he knows how the house is going. He probably knows that we're all kind of bored. He's like, alright, let me just hype some of these fans up. Let me just get them on Team Enzo. But yeah, when the time came, he couldn't
Phil, this is bad jury management from Enzo, because just like the people in the house, you know what? Memphis doesn't get us hyped up.
There's still
Memphis
someone.
just tells it to us like it is. The season's gonna stink. He's gonna go after David.
Oh,
Enzo's the
one more hit.
who's given us expectations that we're gonna get something good.
If Enzo would just tell us the truth, like, it would be sad, but at least it would be honest.
Yeah, today was a pretty bad day, though, for my YouTube channel. Again, views are significantly dropped from yesterday. But it is what it is. Like, I'm not really that upset. Yeah, the castings forever, Big Brother really did better in that one day than I thought it would do ever. Like, today, I think it only did, like, 1,000-something views. Like, it's at 6.5, I think, right now. Which is, like, it's on pace with my Dreamcasting Survivor Legends video. So, I mean, that is on pace for 10,000 views, which is good. But, whatever. It's fine.
Did he make the correct move, like, inadvertently, by keeping Nicole in the house and getting rid of David, who was, ostensibly working with Tyler?
Oh, no, yeah, it was the right move.
All right.
He can't go against Cody. I mean, that demolishes his position. That being said, like, I don't love what Enzo has been doing overall. Like, I don't like the overall trajectory of where he's going, but he really did put himself in a tricky spot by not going along with Tyler. If Tyler had more time to think about this decision, if he was just a little bit more cutthroat and he was a little bit quicker on the draw, then he really might have just flipped right around on Enzo for going back on this boat.
The question is, does Enzo, does Tyler believe Enzo? Is we see David believes that Christmas was the one that flipped on her, or on him. So, like, for all we know, Tyler thinks Christmas flipped on him. We'll see, though.
I still feel like he needs to do something else, though. I don't think this is
I agree.
enough. That wasn't the place to do it, but he's got to do it somewhere.
So Danny was probably dead person walking anyway coming into this week. It would have been excited to watch her twist in the wind for a week and all of the other, collateral damage that could have come out of her being up on the block this week. But are we still in a position that could be set up for some compelling weeks now that we have the 6? For the first time, there's no Kevin, there's no David, there's no Davon, there's nobody, there's no easy
There's no
call.
people of color, Rob. Can we talk about that? There's no people of color. Just
Yes.
white people for this
Yes.
stuff on the block.
There are
That-
two
They were just Christmas, women strong. I'm so glad Danny called that out, by the way, because but on the other hand, Danny, what have you been doing for the women of the house, honey? Like, take a look at yourself, Kirsten.
Hey, excuse me.
I'm asking you to respond to that.
No,
Yeah.
I know.
Take a look at yourself.
Right.
Exclamation point.
What are you
Yeah.
doing to
no.
solve this problem?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm having a problem, honestly. No, so it's just like,
We're all
literally,
the women that were in the podcast, Kirsten.
I swear to God, I hate all of you. So it's just like the 3 women left are the 3 women who went after the other women. They put themselves in this situation.
Yeah, Nicole didn't go after the other women. I find this like funny that's the narrative now, even though like she's the only one that wanted to keep the all women's alliance together.
You don't think
Ah, fuck, I'm fucked. I'm back into a corner. I can't move.
minority with all these big strong dudes that are working together. Obviously, it makes the target of what's left in the minority group, which they
Ah, fuck.
The minute they were gone, it seems like they had trouble.
I will say I do like this aesthetic of the house.
Yeah, when there are people
How
of
that
color in the
looks.
house, it's like, well, we know what we're doing. All of a sudden, when there's no people of color in the house, Rob, it's like, well, this is really tough. I don't know what to do. Like, there's like, I mean, we knew this was gonna happen, you know? I mean,
Everyone in the house has just been just like a pre-programmed robot. It's like, all right, I'll always just vote out the minority. And so it was just like pre-programmed in their head. Like when David was on the phone,
Okay.
like, well,
There we go.
this is what we've been doing thus far, so just keep going with that.
well, I will say this, Rob, I do want to talk about this. In Danny's exit interviews, and I know that we're talking about the second interview first, but Danny, I felt like, did recognize where she went wrong tonight. Like, she knew where she went wrong. She knew it in her heart. She knew it didn't feel right to her. She let Ian go.
No, I think her game was blown up before that.
Her story was written. Like, I mean, everything else that happened after that was just, it was window dressing, Taryn. Like, we knew what was going to happen after that. After she let Ian go and kept Tyler in the house, it wasn't just Tyler that was coming after her. I think she would be surprised that other people were coming after her as well.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, honestly, the thing that was even worse than keeping Tyler was telling Christmas that she was going to go on the block as a pawn, because that really soured
Ah,
Christmas on
fuck.
Danny.
God
It
damn
helped
it.
Tyler maintain his anti-Danny stance, because he had allies to do it, and she really dropped the ball with Christmas. She can say that it was Christmas that turned on her, but she was the one that dropped Christmas on purpose after the Davon argument because she felt like she was too loose of a cannon. And Nicole even warned her. She said, hey, she's gonna notice if we stop giving her things. And she did. And she especially noticed when Danny said she was gonna put her on the block.
Yep.
So that's really, that was a big moment, I think, that helped cause this as well.
Well, and it's also, though, it's not like she was in a perfect position before all of that either. Like, she really, I don't think, was ever playing, like, a great game the entire time.
Maybe the first week.
I mean, but even then, I think she was doing too much. Like, even then, I don't know about that.
Mm-hmm.
The people in the house, you guys can critique all you want, but for the people in the house, they were talking about what a player.
She's like the best player that I've ever played against in my life.
Yeah, that's Tyler's worst read of the season.
What was that about?
Tyler's been talking
Tyler
about
actually had this argument with Cody a couple weeks ago that he was like, she's the best player I've ever played with.
In fairness, who's the best player that Tyler has played with? JC?
JC.
Yeah, I think JC.
She's better than JC.
She's better than JC.
Moving on.
Right, yes, thank you, anyway.
No, yeah, they
Fuck,
had
this
this
is
argument.
really annoying. I really.
Tyler was
Ugh.
like, yeah, she's the best
Oh,
player.
what? How'd I
played
die
against her. She's
there?
like,
Whatever.
she's not good, though. Everyone sees what she's doing. I was like, no, I don't know, man. I'd vote for her in the final two.
Can I skip
The
this?
fact that he doesn't even like her shows that, like, she's not the
Right?
greatest player. Like, he doesn't trust her.
Like,
Doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense.
If someone is the best player you've ever played with, you're not evicting them at this point in the game and then talking about how they're so good. They
Yeah,
sneak
if
up on
someone's
you
the
and at
best
the end
player,
you're like, oh my
you don't know that they're the best
God,
player at the
how did
time
I
that you're
miss
saying that they're the
They're
best
so
player.
good. Like, you don't
If you're
see
within the game, obviously.
what someone good is doing that surface level.
Yeah, Taryn, my criticism of Danny had been, tenfold this season, but I really do feel like it all comes down to the fact that she couldn't decide what kind of a game she wanted to play. She was, had been talked to pieces about how she made a move too soon in Big Brother 13, and she went against her alliance and just decided to work with the people that she liked. This time, she tried to do something
Fuck.
the opposite of that. But
I'm
she didn't
fucked.
do it very well, and as Kirsten pointed out in the first week, she
Like,
did
how is
too
this the
much, and she
easiest
vacillated
difficulty?
between doing too much and doing too little, and this week again, right after they got the clue about the triple eviction, I
Fuck
would say
off.
she did too much again. So she's not very good at being subtle, much like myself. So I feel like she would have been better off just going to the dance
Oh, I
with
didn't
the
even
even
realize
Broader,
that's
which
cool,
was
actually.
like the Danny that we saw
And
at
this
the end
shows
there.
you what each
the
button
Danny that
does.
was like, you know what, I'm gonna give him hell, and when it's my HOH, I'm gonna put my foot down, and I'm gonna keep Ian in the house. And I'm gonna make Nicole do that, and I'm gonna get rid of Tyler, the guy I already put on the block. I'm very frustrated with Danny right now.
I feel like Danny would do so well in if they did a legend season that is 2 weeks long, you know what I mean? Like in February, whenever they do it, that is
Right.
the perfect spot I feel like for Danny, because she is just so go. She's able to just
I need
play
to turn
that.
notifications
She would probably
back
play
on.
perfectly
I turned off
win that,
all
but for
Big
the
Brother
long game,
notifications
I think Danny
because
would
of
suck,
the
like-
I didn't want to
not
get
suck,
spoiled.
but, you know,
Then
I
obviously I
think
ended
she
up
was
coming
definitely
home
overplaying
anyway.
from, week one.
Yeah, and the Tyler thing that week that she won the HOH, I mean, that's the really easy thing to point to. And I think the other thing is that she really got misted by Cody here in this season, who was really
where is it?
never on her side. She comes out of the house, is like, oh my, I can't believe Cody voted for me. She called him her DBBF. Kirsten, can you define that for me?
Ah, shit.
Okay, so you're... Your BB...
Danny Briones' best friend.
Yeah, so that is the person who, in your mind, they are with you. They're your number one. They are your ride or die. They will do anything for you. They will tell you
Google that
anything.
real quick.
You can tell them anything. However, in reality, hardly a friend at all, more of an acquaintance.
Yeah. By the way, Kirsten, I would like to point out that we had many, but two major wall yellers
fuck.
this season. One that pointed out that Cody and Nicole have a final two. Another one that pointed out that
fuck
Tyler
off.
and Kristen have a final two. All those people are still in the house. Like, what the hell are these people doing?
Yeah, and she wholeheartedly believed one of them.
But didn't believe the other one.
Did not buy the other, because guess what? One of them had power in the game and the other didn't.
Well, and it's also one of them had her BBFF.
Oh, BBBFF. Okay, not DBBFF. Okay, because I looked this up. DBBF is a douchebag boyfriend. That's DBBF.
Oh, maybe I got it wrong. Maybe that's what it is.
I think that fits perfectly.
We have to
Oh,
hear
fuck.
audio playback, Rob.
Yeah, we'll need to listen to that actually with some better sound.
Yeah, I gotta go back and check that
I'm
out.
gonna really miss that.
Are you sure it wasn't BPDFF, Busy Phillips' best friend?
Yeah, very handsome, Vince Phillips.
Very pretty actress.
Yeah. Okay. Taryn, so if we were gonna do power rankings for the people that are left in the final six, who is in the most imminent danger coming into this round?
Christmas.
Nicole?
Christmas.
Oh, all right. Yeah. We will have an interesting week. Yeah.
I mean, maybe, but
Depends on who wins HOH. Yeah.
Yeah, so Cody should want Christmas gone. He has wanted Christmas gone. Christmas is basically, she's back up to two different people, Memphis and Tyler. And so by taking out Christmas, he weakens both of them.
Well, let me just say this, okay? That this week, that I think that we are in store for a good week, because I think that if checks notes, anybody goes home, it's gonna be fun. Yes, it's going to be fun.
Any of them.
Phil, I also want to point out, like,
the veto, replace them with another. It'll be great.
Honestly, why couldn't they send them all home tonight? Like, they could have just kept doing those same 2 competitions all night long until we had a winner, and I would have been happy to sit through it and be here to recap it no matter how long it took.
It'll be glorious.
That would have been perfect.
Can I just say that if they had swapped the vetoes, if the first veto had been the one where you run back and forth, that Tyler won, that David probably is saved, and David is still probably in this house, and Danny might have gone first, and then Tyler wins the second one, and then things could have gotten pretty interesting.
You know, I will say, that's all fabulous, Taryn, but I want to point out that our very own Melissa Denny had a boot order that she predicted way back when, and you said that if Kevin and David are the next 2 people out of this house, that you will gladly pay up.
Brent, we're dealing with a sorceress. I don't know what I should never have told her that I would give her money if this happened.
You said that so confidently.
No, you know that
magicking this into existence just so she gets her $100.
You're not blaming Melissa for this because you know that if she had powers to control this is not what we would get.
She manifested it.
For those of you who don't know, Melissa Denny put up a tweet that was like, I don't know, like 8 weeks ago, like it was a long time ago, and she was like, so I guess like the next people out of the house are like Janelle, Taster, Ian, Davon, Bailey, Kevin, and David. And right at that point, right before those last 2, Melissa, brought it up again, and Taryn was like, "I'll put money down that that Kevin and David are not the next 2 people out of this house." And then, but y'all know what happens.
Directly to our RHAP social media team. Find that clip.
Yes,
Get the clip.
It was on the round table. I think it was like the 3rd week or something that
It's also a tweet. Yes.
Well, but it was on the pod. So Brent had asked me to like, hey, Taryn, give us the pretty picture. Be optimistic. Brent's setting me up for failure here. So Melissa was like, no optimism. This is what's gonna happen. And I was like, no way. That's impossible. I will put money on it. And then
Hashtag 2020.
a couple weeks ago, somebody found the clip, and that's when she tweeted out like, I think Taryn owes me money. And I was like, you know what? I deserve this. You know what? I will give you $100. If this happens, I will give you $100 because I fully deserve to be punished for tempting fate and saying that this wouldn't happen. And so tonight I lost $100.
Okay.
Yeah, but you also gained $100 as someone donating it to you to pay her. So really, it's like 0 for you.
Oh well, it
I'll
never.
put the GoFundMe up. I'll get the Indiegogo for that.
Not about the money, it's about the friends we made along the way, Kurt.
Taryn, really, I have to say that it was really bad luck for David to go home in the first HOH here. Like, I mean, anybody but Memphis wins HOH, and I do think he's safe, and then I think he's safe in the second HOH. Like, anybody but Memphis.
Yeah.
Even last week, if Cody hadn't won,
right?
Kevin would have gone.
Yeah? Oh, gosh. Well,
But you know what?
Unlucky this
Look,
season.
and nobody was pulling harder for David than I was, but they're gone. They can't sit on the block this week. There's no easy pawns. We ripped the Band-Aid off with those guys, and yes, we lost the Danny week, but no matter what, somebody is very upset. 2 people likely that when they are sitting up on the block this week.
Can we talk about that, though? Because I feel like Danny, in her eviction speech, did more to help salve the wounds more than anything, because by calling out Tyler and Christmas specifically, I feel like that pushes them together somewhat, and they were the only 2 people that voted against Nicole. Add to that Memphis, who doesn't want to see Christmas go anywhere, and I feel like that those 3 people probably not too far away from each other going into the next HOH. Now, of course, Tyler can't play, but my point being that I feel like they're going to work together now. I would be surprised if Memphis put Tyler on the block, even with this little wise guy thing that he has going on.
To be fair,
Oh, fuck off, another fight?
It might not be the most likely that it's Memphis because he was on the ground at the end of the episode.
That was
He
funny.
fell and yes, he did get up, but he wasn't looking so good. I think we might have back pain Memphis again.
Terry, you gave me a little eye with that one. Like, do you feel like if Memphis won HOH, he'd put up like Tyler and Nicole? Because he okay, well, that's too bad. I don't want him to do that. I guess I'm ready for a Christmas HOH.
I mean, not a Christmas HOH.
The Christmas
Yeah, I want a
HOH
Christmas
is when
HOH.
Cody might go on the block.
I think that's gonna
Christmas
happen.
HOH is the only good
I think
scenario.
it's gonna
this week.
be. It's just.
What's gonna happen, Phil?
I feel like Christmas is for sure gonna win an HOH. I feel like this is gonna go the way of last season, where just like they're gonna back-to-back swap, like Jackson and Holly did it.
Oh, what the fuck? They didn't even give me a chance to fucking do anything. Oh,
just
fuck off.
killing it, and we're gonna just have to watch it. Like I'm like out during like the second eviction, like when it was between Cody and Tyler and Christmas. I was rooting for Cody. That's the sad fact about this season. Like,
What?
I was like, you know,
Why
if he
are you-
takes them out, like, I'll take it. You know what I mean? Cody, just do it, please.
Yeah, oh, go ahead, Rob. I was rooting for Cody in the second HOH too. I kind of was myself, but now that we're at this point in time, I will say, Kirsten, I saw you give everybody the bad face when we talked about Christmas, but like she's giving me better TV than some of these people right now. At least she wears her emotions on her sleeve.
I would argue that, yes, she is showing her emotions, but does that make it good? I would say maybe not. But I also just think, like, what is this year? What is this season? That literally a Christmas HOH is the best case scenario for, like, exciting TV? Like,
I mean, I think that's just what happens. That she's the new underdog. That this is always what happens. Is that the next person
Fan
to go is
favorite.
an HOH. Yeah.
not fan favorite, never that.
Never fan favorite. Yeah.
America's favorite play. America's favorite underdog.
Everyone
Do we do
loves
it?
the holiday season all of a sudden, but not me.
Yeah.
Give Christmas the gift of America's
She's getting
favorite
the
play.
underdog edit.
No,
From now
yeah.
on, we're gonna get her crying. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be hilarious.
I'm giving Devon America's favorite player. I'll give
Yeah.
Christmas the underdog.
What is
and
this?
That's the end of that.
Yeah, sure, she's an underdog in the show. Whatever. This is all bad.
Well, I don't really think she is that much of an underdog, because Tyler can't play, but he wouldn't put her up, I don't feel like. And Memphis won't put her up. Obviously, Christmas won't put herself up. So, and I'm not even sure what Nicole would do. I guess Nicole would put up Tyler in Christmas.
Yeah.
Maybe Memphis.
Okay.
She would be inclined to go after Memphis, but Cody will want her to go after Christmas, and so.
Well, and
All right.
Christmas is a CrossFitter, and you know what that means. That means you never give up. Okay?
Never quit.
Never.
Never quit.
Okay. Why don't we go ahead and take a look back at what happened tonight, and so then we can stop down and talk about any of the interesting beats. I don't think we need to spend a lot of time on the first round of play here. We saw just a tiny bit of Cody being super condescending first to David, was just so hard on him about taking the 10K. You know what, David, you did the right thing. Yep, sure hell he did. Yep.
What were you gonna say?
Okay, I want to look up how much further we have in the game to see whether or not it's worth trying to finish the game or not. Okay, from what I'm seeing, we still have like 30 minutes left. 35 minutes. So yeah, it's not really worth it. We probably should do another one.
Like, that's what Christmas would have done.
Yeah. Play here. We saw just a
Like, they would take the money. I don't care if I'm on the block. I'll take the
Yeah.
You know what? He went out. And so, but, you know, Cody was talking down like, that's not Big Brother. Like, you're playing new school Big Brother, Cody. I don't know. I thought that was ridiculous.
Yeah, David's gonna have the third most amount of money of anyone in the game. I think. Oh no, I think they started giving more money to.
They did, yeah. This would
I
give
mean,
every place
fourth
you move
after
up.
Dr. Will, but yeah, he's up
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
David's
so-
having 40K too, right? They gave everybody.
Yeah, you get the 40K. Yeah, you get so much money, and then if you make jury, for every week you stay in the house, you get more money. It's not just the stipend; it's also money. Someone sent me the pay table. I've got it somewhere. Whatever.
It doesn't even matter. Like, honestly, I know that it's like, oh, you know, from like an optimal perspective, David Boothby doing whatever he could do to win the game and be the person at the end. But like these people were, it didn't matter what he was going to, like, unless David had gone veto HOH, veto HOH, veto HOH, like literally if he had not won a competition every week for the end, I just don't think he was going to get to the end because they were so hung up on nominating him every single time he was available. So if you can take 10K, take the 10K.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with him taking 10K. I do think he got a bad break because I think he could have gone deep into this game because, like, the minute the first shot is fired at the Alliance, now all of a sudden they're not worried about David anymore. They're worried about each other. They're worried about all the big players in the game.
Yeah.
Once the shot is taken, but it hadn't been taken at the point in time that Memphis won. Goddamn.
Well, but honestly, even if the shot had been taken, Memphis was so fixated. Like, do you even, like, if Memphis wins, I feel like he was gonna nominate David every single time.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody
but Memphis, that was the problem.
Memphis winning that first HOH, it's not David. It's
it's
unless
either
the
Christmas or
veto, unless it's
Danny.
a bad veto draw,
Yeah.
veto outcome, David's not going home.
By the way, yeah, listen to Memphis when David is leaving.
Appreciate that. Only took me since week 2 to get him out.
What did he do to you, Memphis?
There's very little you can do in the game of Big Brother when someone has that big of a heart on for you to keep you out of the game. Like, I mean, it is just the truth of the matter. I'm sorry. I do not know what Memphis's problem was. I think it's just I mean, I feel like there's a lot of things going on, but the main thing is I think he just didn't respect him as a player. Like, he saw him as a total rookie who didn't, like, Memphis is like, I went to the final 2, I put in my time in the Big Brother game, I spent,
Yeah, it's
70, 80
incredible,
days in
the
house.
final
You
6
spent
here.
an hour in
We
the
have a
house playing
winner.
the
We
game,
have
you know,
3
before. Well, you
runners up,
shouldn't even
and we
be
have
here. I feel like that's where he's coming from. Bill, go ahead.
final 3
No, Memphis
people.
was just like talking
It's
about
a really
like,
good
just like
group.
you have to earn your stripes in week 2.
Yeah.
That's what he was saying. Like you're a rookie.
Even final 7,
Yeah,
and we have Danny, who's
it's-
a former
he's
runner-up.
with you right now, and it pisses me off so much that he's like, oh, I have a vendetta. Like
I really, if you think about this final 9 outside of
saying
David.
it like you were trying to help him, but obviously he was never trying to help him or anything like that.
And for what, Memphis? For what?
This is the weirdest rivalry in Big Brother history.
Dumb.
Memphis versus David.
Steve and Becky, I think.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah!
My crown.
I forgot about that!
Okay.
They should do
Once we get out of the flashback
next
one.
season. I hope they do a Memphis versus David season. I'd watch that. Like if they bring them both back and they're captains.
Honestly,
Redemption House, Big Brother 23.
I don't need to see
Versus
Memphis back, but David can come back.
You know, that
Alright, we'll
reminds
end
me,
here.
someone on
Next
Twitter
episode
reminded me
continues on.
that
But I don't think
Survivor
about
had its 22nd season. It